Joining us now, MongoDB CEO David Echeria. Dave, good to see you. So quite a day for the stock, but I want to get sort of beyond just the day here. You talked about consumption a lot on the call. Why is MongoDB's consumption outpacing at least expectations from others like Snowflake? Is it that the bar was at a different place? Is it that your customers are using database at a different rate and level and the application's connected than they're using data somehow?
Yeah, so John, what you have to realize is what people do on MongoDB is they build software applications, and those software applications have some utility. They want to be able to engage with their customers, their partners, drive more efficiency, deliver better experiences. So when they build an app, there's a one-to-one correlation between value and price. The more that app is used, and most customers want their apps to be used, the more revenue we see. And if their app is not used as much, which we saw last year when the economy started slowing down, the revenue slows down. Now, the business has grown over the last couple of years really well, but there's a one-to-one correlation between growth and utilization. So we don't see the phenomenon that other companies do about optimizations where people are starting to wonder, do I need to put all my data in a data warehouse? Do I need to run those reports every week? How much value are they providing? There's truly a one-to-one correlation between price to value with MongoDB.
And you said on the call that part of the tailwind that you expect to get from AI is more applications, more use of this data. Are there also more products that you expect to layer on top of that Atlas database that's growing so much and driving so much of your growth right now to sort of provide more share of wallet to you from your customers, or are you going to remain focused on continuing to drive Atlas growth?
Well, John, I would say, one, Atlas grew 40% year over year, which exceeded expectations. And I would argue that Atlas is one of the fastest cloud services in the world today, right? So it's bordering on a close to $1 billion revenue run rate. So that speaks to how popular MongoDB is and how many people want to build applications and run them in the cloud. To your point about AI, what we're seeing is an emerging trend where a lot of these next generation AI companies are actually running their applications on MongoDB. And it makes sense. Modern developers want to use modern platforms for modern applications. And so we're seeing a lot of people start deploying these modern next generation AI apps on MongoDB and on Atlas. And in terms of what we plan to do, well, John, I want to invite you to our event on June 22nd. We're having a big conference in New York at the Javits Center. And we'll also have an event for investors to talk about our AI strategy.
David, it's Morgan. You noted record levels of new workloads from existing customers. You added a lot of self-serve customers. You added a lot of customers and added more workload from your existing. I'm just wondering, as we have this AI conversation, how many of those customers are coming online or adding to the business that already exists because of AI? And if so, what is that going to continue to look like in terms of a piece of the revenue pie?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of hype and excitement about AI, and I think AI can truly profoundly transform so many different industries. But I want to be cautious. I think in the short term, many people overestimate the impact of a new technology, but in the long term, they underestimate the impact. We're still in the very early days of AI. We're really thrilled that all these modern developers are coming to MongoDB. But I would say the impact in terms of revenue, consumption, the new workloads is just our core business. It's not driven by some sun shock effect of AI. But we think we're really well positioned and we're going to be a beneficiary of the AI wave because one is going to increase developer productivity. So that developer productivity means more apps. More apps means more operational data stores, which is good for us.
Dave?
And then as we build out our portfolio, you'll see more things happen there.